Look, a warm-up in any activity, any sport is vital. It needs to help you prepare physically and both mentally for the task that you're about to do. You also need to put it into context that the warm-up is not the training session or the match. So you don't need to expend all your energy in the warm-ups, which I oftentimes see a lot of guys do. So maybe we have a 2-hour training session and guys spending 35-40 minutes warming up. It is unnecessary. So what you need to do is you need to understand what gets you ready for your preparation, get it done, and then get into the main work of what you need to do. So this is a key thing around warm-ups. They're vital, but you don't need to overdo them. When we talk about fitness training, and obviously weight training is an aspect of that, we're always thinking about safety and what we can do to ensure that the players are safe. So for me, that always comes down to teaching the athletes the basics in whatever we're trying to do. As I mentioned earlier, if we took strength as an example, is we'd want to move them through those stages, safely through those stages. So if we focused on movement patterns first, we made sure that they had quality movement patterns. Can they push? Can they pull? Are they able to carry load? Can they squat? Can they hinge? Once they've got these basic movement patterns in place, then it's easy to then start putting some low-level strength on top of those patterns, and then gradually increase that, and then obviously start looking at things like what is their asymmetry like, are there big differences between right and left, and once we've ironed some of those out or reduced those slightly, then do we need to look at things like ballistics, and we can start introducing the ballistic component. So I think if you move through those stages in that manner, you can reduce the chance of injury. The issue with injuries for a lot of youngsters is just doing too much too soon. So basically having an intensity that's too high. So really what you want to do is, no matter what it is, whether it's strength training, cardiovascular training, sprint work, whatever it is, you want to introduce things that are low intensity first, and then build a little bit of volume through that. And then once you've got a certain amount of volume, then you can actually up the intensity. So like anything, it's just having a sensible approach and introducing things in a very gradual manner. Introduce something, see how the athlete responds, and then add a little bit more. I think what happens a lot of the time is people judge a fitness session by how exhausted they are at the end of it. All right. I don't think that's necessarily the best way to judge fitness, or whether it was a good session or not. I think what we need to look at is how the athlete responded from the session that you've given them. If you've given them a session and the next day they're incredibly sore and can't move and their joints are sore, then you've probably given them a session that's too much, too intense for them. So again, that's why a gradual approach to anything is always a good approach. Having a focus on the basics is key, and then broadening out from there.